Okay, got some new parts in for the BLT build. Just kind of want to test fit them and everything here. Kind of show you um, kind of how the front end is going to fit a little bit. And then eventually we're going to get to the point where we're going to place our holes. But in this video here, excuse me, I'm just kind of testing the arms and stuff, making sure that everything's going to line up the way that I want to, because when I actually drill holes into the chassis here, I mean, I want to make them right the first time, because I don't want to have a bunch of holes that I'm not going to use, and weakening the chassis, that kind of stuff here. So let's show you what I got here, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so again, we test fitted the back here. I got my I don't know what these things are called here. They kind of hold the tower, or the arms and stuff in place. I forget what they're called. I really can't remember, honestly. But this is basically how they're going to go. Something like that, right? So that's kind of why I wanted to, test fit it and see where everything's at. We're going to do the same thing here in the front. I got these arms from FLMLF or whatever. They're for 5T, the Roven 5T, and I think they fit the LT as well. So they should fit this here. I've also got a bulkhead, the front, diff cover, whatever the hell you want to call that, for a 5T. So this should fit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of get it on there and just do a test fit. Then we'll get our low-C body over here and kind of see where everything fits at. Alright, so I still have to get my hinge pin set for the front and some still for the rear, but if you look where the arms are at, I believe they're going to line up just fine where this is at. So let me take this body back out of here. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. That's not the body I'm going to use. That's the body for my low C5T over there. So basically I just kind of got it mocked up over here. I got my gearbox here. I still got to get a screw kit and everything, guys. I got my gearbox mocked up here, and the hinge pin set, you got a brace that comes out there, and then on the other side as well, and then there's a pin that runs through there, kind of sandwiched together on the actual differential, bulkhead, whatever you want to call that. Now back here, since it is a Roven HPI Baja, whatever you want to call it, King motor setup, their pins are a little different. Typically they have the pins run through here. You have like an E-clip or whatever go on the side here and on the back there, but there's still a piece in the back, don't remember what it's called, that I don't have yet. It's probably something for the rear bumper part or something. I can't remember. I have to actually look up all the parts and stuff, guys. But I believe that's going to work. So my location, I believe, is fine. So I think the next step I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a screw kit. I'm going to get the bulkhead hinge pins for the front, and I do have some for the rear already from my old Bajas. I've got a Baja there, I've got a Baja down there, and I've got the Red Cat over there as well. So I've got plenty of pieces to use here. So that's kind of what I'm planning on here. So now the other part of the equation, and I know these are computer monitors, kind of hard to see. I'm looking at parts and everything here, things that I want to put on here, trying to figure out what fits. Actually been over to Dave's Discount Motors. I've been to the Roven site, which Fearless RC has more now. I think they're switching everything over to that, because I believe Fearless RC owns all that now. So they're going to be doing all that stuff now. But here's the problem I have here. Look at the hinge pin sets that you see here. and that's for the MTXL. So here's basically an exploded view. These pieces right here are the pieces that I want to try to get next. Obviously with the pins and stuff and the rear parts as well, if I can get them. Now, this is just for the front end of a Losi 5T. I'm not putting the differential in. It's just going to be a blank box because it's only two-wheel drive. Then I still have to get all these hubs and things like that as well, but I'll be working on that later. So I did find this red set here on Amazon. I don't really want red. Can't find another one there. I found a couple on here. This is eBay, wherever they're at here. Here's some right here, but we're looking at north of 20 bucks. I could do just fine with just the plastic ones for right now. This is one that I'm looking really hard at here. This is a King motor setup. And as you can, I'll just let you look at that for here for a second. And what it is a X2 shock tower chassis hinge pin brace set. Comes in a lot of different things here, and they claim that it fits a Losi 5T as well. Its set includes front and rear aluminum shock towers, front and rear aluminum hinge pin braces with plastic covers, center differential supports, aluminum clutch bell, front and rear chassis brace, front upper steering chassis brace, front and rear sway bar mounts. I think I'm going to go with this because it's $36.99. And to be honest with you guys, with all this tariff stuff here, I'm starting to have a lot of trouble being able to get some parts. So I think I'm going to do this here, kind of get a few things here that maybe I don't need, but I'll keep it, for the other models that I have anyway. So it's not a lose situation or whatever. It just might not go on this model. And it has the plastic pieces in the places that I think they're needed. Shock towers I can go back and forth on, but it's a place to start. So I think that's what I'm going to try, is this one here. I don't really need a clutch bell carrier or whatever that thing is here, but I'll keep it for the 5T that I actually have in case I need it for something later. So that's the one I'm probably just going to go with. $36.99 plus shipping and stuff, so that's not too terribly bad. And this is the screw kit I think I'm going to go with. This is a Roven 80-piece beadlock screw kit. I think it's going to serve my purpose pretty well. For most what I need, I do have a Red Cat screw kit as well, and a Traxxas X-Max screw kit, so I think this will be covering most of what I need anyway. So if you buy both of those from the Fearless RC website, you actually avoid a lot of the shipping charges, fees, and all that kind of stuff from eBay and a bunch of other ones here. So my total here is going to be $51.53. All right, so that order is in here. So when that stuff comes in, we'll start bolting things up here. And then once we make sure that everything lines up the way that it looks like it's going to line up, then I'm going to start drilling holes in the chassis, and I'll cut this piece here like I had planned. And we'll start getting an idea on what kind of engine and stuff we want, finishing up on the front and rear suspension and stuff, and just keep plugging away, man. Now, I will say that parts are kind of hard to get a hold of. I live in the United States, and most of the stuff comes from China. So with all the tariffs and everything there, it's kind of hard to get a hold of some parts. So, again, like I said before, this is going to have to be as we get time, as we get money, all that kind of jazz here. So we'll just kind of have to see how this tariff stuff really hurts me, and just keep plugging away the best I can. All right, guys, so if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you want to do there. Helps the channel out a lot. We're trying to grow this year as much as we can. So yeah, I really appreciate anything and everything that you guys do. You guys already done quite a bit for me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll get some more stuff going on the BLT as soon as I can get things together. And like I said, get a little bit here and there, and we'll just piece it together as best we can. So look for the next one, guys, and I really appreciate it.